This is Osiris Frost. It's mid-spring, the sun is out, the air is warm, but there's trouble in paradise. I'm talking, of course, about the current controversy surrounding recent changes to concept ship sales and LTI, and how this issue relates to the larger picture of CIG's business plan for Star Citizen and Squadron 42 going forward. If you've been on Spectrum recently, you may have noticed that one or two people have posted their dissatisfaction with the fact that CIG are no longer offering LTI on non-Warbond concept sales. This first began with the 100 series concept sale, and was continued with the Hercules Starlifter, apparently signaling a new normal for all future concept sales. Many of the community's gripes with the consequences of those changes are legitimate, such as devaluing credit purchases and kind of screwing long-standing backers who might choose to change their fleet composition as new types of ships become available. At the same time, no one has taken away the ability for you to CCU into these ships after the concierge pre-sale period ends, and of course, it bears repeating that all of these ships will be available for purchase in-game with in-game currency in the future, but nonetheless, CIG are kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. They have always been upfront that you can eventually buy ships with UEC, but they also need to continue to generate revenue as they are a growing company who, by some estimates, are spending money as fast or faster than they are bringing it in. I want to be perfectly clear that this next part of the video is speculative. I have no precise knowledge of CIG's financial outlays. They are a company that do business in 3 countries, and have to do so in accordance with the varied laws and accounting practices of those countries. To my knowledge, there is no one outside of CIG who has accurate, specific financial knowledge of CIG's expenses. What we do know is that they brought in roughly $37 million in new revenue over each of the past 2 years from concept ship sales and subscriptions. We also know that since the start of the project, they have raised slightly north of $180 million. I've read some estimates that their annual operating costs fall somewhere in the range of $35 to $40 million, but again, I don't know this to be accurate. I merely bring up these numbers to help illustrate a point. CIG is not sitting on $180 million unspent dollars. They have been spending out of this total since day one of development, nearly 6 years ago. In many markets in the US, experienced, skilled programmers can earn a 6-figure salary. CIG employs many such people, plus they maintain offices, send employees on business travel, comply with regulatory costs, and so on. The point is, they've raised a lot of money, but they also spend a lot of money too. I'm going to link to an article by Gamma Sutra. It's a little bit dated, but breaks down what I'm trying to say here with a bit more clarity by comparing Star Citizen's development to GTA 5, and arguing that CIG really need to raise somewhere around $210 million to deliver the game that they've promised us. I have absolutely no reason to believe that they are in financial hardship, nor that they won't eventually reach whatever fundraising milestone they need to reach in order to actually deliver Star Citizen. For that matter, I don't even know that $210 million is that magic number, but there is some magic number. Until they have a game to sell people, they need to continue to generate revenue in order to finance development costs. They can currently only do this by selling digital spaceships and subscriptions to people, and I guess you could also view the controversial selling of land claims through the same lens as well. But when backers melt their existing ships and use the store credit to buy the newest concept, they end up happy, but CIG actually loses out on the deal. They've invested time and resources into the development of the ship, which they've now not made any money on from credit buyers. In order for this to be profitable, they need some people to spend new money on that concept ship. To incentivize this choice, CIG first implemented Warbond pricing, a 10 to 20% discount for new money purchases. This has been going on for a while, and most people are used to seeing the two prices for the same ship during new concept sales. But starting with the 100 series, CIG switched tactics from providing positive encouragement to spend new money to what some backers interpret as punishment for not spending new money, by including LTI with Warbond purchases only. That's a debatable position, as many in the community see LTI as a valueless feature, but now with the Hercules, CIG have doubled down and taken the extra step of bundling free ground vehicles with some of those Warbond purchases. They are really trying to sweeten the pot and entice you to spend more money on this game. This can be interpreted in a couple of ways, and the way I'm going to suggest is that it's a little short-sighted and almost smacks of desperation. By using this tactic, you are indeed, as evidenced by Spectrum in recent days, alienating long-standing backers, many of which have a demonstrated record of continued investment in Star Citizen. Probably CIG has better metrics than I do on who, between new backers and old, more reliably spends new money, so maybe what they're doing is well considered and makes financial sense. But from this outsider's perspective, it looks like they're taking a risk that unproven new backers are going to pony up cash during this next phase of funding. In any case, people's perception that they're sticking it to old backers is definitely understandable, even if that isn't CIG's intent. Many in the community are experiencing a range of reactions to this turn of events, from towing the company line to threatening to demand refunds from customer service. For their part, CIG have been mostly mum about the uproar, but recently Xylo took to the forums to post the official company response in several of these threads. That response reads as follows, quote, "As mentioned when this change was brought up with the Origin 100 series, LTI is included on war bond versions to reward those who are helping fund ongoing development. We originally communicated this after it was heavily requested back in 2014, specifically jumped to the lifetime insurance section, and here he links to a post, which I'll get to in a minute. We've updated war bonds to support exactly that, reward those who are helping fund ongoing development. I appreciate you all taking the time to provide this feedback. I'll take it all back to the team." End quote. So basically what he's saying here is that CIG did warn everyone well in advance to expect these changes to concept sale LTI availability. Let's check out that link to see exactly what was said and when. So the link is to an article titled Future Concept Sale Plans that appeared on robertspaceindustries.com in September of 2014, 3.5 years ago. Plenty of advance notice to the community about whatever is written here, right? I won't read the article verbatim, but I will link it in the show notes below so that you can examine it to your satisfaction. The article is a pretty detailed outline of CIG's then plans for the ship concept sale process. There's just one problem. This article describes how concept sales in LTI worked before the 100 series concept sale. It outlines the familiar process of a ship going on concept for about a week and being available with a lower price during its initial concept sale as compared to any time thereafter, and also that it will come with LTI and CCU options during that concept phase. Or, put another way, there's no fair reading of that article that would give the reader any indication that LTI might someday only be available on war bond purchases but not credit purchases made during a ship's concept sale. So in essence, CIG's response to people upset at this unannounced change is that they did announce it, only they didn't. And herein lies my problem with the situation. In a traditional game, the game studio is accountable to the publisher. If you're, for example, BioWare, and some suit from EA comes down to your office and starts asking you questions, you owe him thorough and correct answers to those questions. After all, he represents the entity paying you to develop that game. In the case of Star Citizen, we the backers are a collective stand-in for a publisher, as we have and are continuing to crowdfund this game's development. There is no publisher in the traditional sense. I and others would argue that this means that CIG can't just brush off backer concerns by providing inaccurate statements about non-existent prior warnings. I don't necessarily take issue with these concept sale changes for the reasons I discussed earlier in this video. I take issue with CIG's lack of transparency and accountability related to the process. They can and should do better, including a detailed post from Chris Roberts himself outlining the decision-making process which led to the present situation and some sort of honest attempt to soothe ruffled feathers. Regardless of whether you agree or disagree with the new marketing strategy, most people I've spoken to acknowledge that dropping a surprise of this magnitude on the community was a misstep, and owning up to this fact will go a long way toward restoring some goodwill. My recommendation for a solution to this situation would be to restore LTI credit purchases going forward and continue to bundle bonus ships or vehicles with war bond purchases while maintaining a 10 to 20% discount on those purchases. Furthermore, CIG could open additional revenue streams by selling purely cosmetic items like ship decals or weapon skins. CIG have already shown a willingness to take these steps, as evidenced by the Hercules presale and the Pledge store. In my view, these changes will undo the specific change that so many in the community are up in arms about, while simultaneously providing a strong incentive to invest new money into the development process of Star Citizen with each new concept sale or cosmetic release. Overall, I think we're in the final stretch of development. I think CIG are expanding their staff as part of the final push to complete the core technology needed to bring this game to life. As I mentioned in a recent video, I believe a Squadron 42 release date will be announced later this year, most likely during one of the live streams at the end of the year. I'll link up that video if you're interested in hearing more about my reasoning for this belief. So let me know what you think about this whole situation. How would you like to see it handled? Or do you think that CIG has done nothing wrong at all, and upset backers just need to suck it up? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Also, I bit the bullet and started a Facebook page to go along with my Twitter and Discord. You can find all of those links below amidst the show notes. I look forward to discussing Star Citizen on any and all of those platforms. And until next time, this has been Osiris Frost, signing off. That's all for today's show. Thanks for watching. If you're new to Star Citizen, or you know someone who's thinking of playing, you or they can earn 5,000 UEC on your account by registering with my referral code, which you can find in the show notes down below. If you have any questions, feedback, or episode suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.